Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Fast CPA and Consultants. I'd like to introduce our CPA, Fulton Abraham Sanchez. Welcome back, Fulton.
Thank you, Sarah.
If you're here for the first time, a few months ago, we started this series called Tax Talks, where we talk about your questions through email and social media. And today's topic, we have accounting for car dealers. So are we ready to begin?
Yes.
Amazing. First question, what is a car dealer's CPA?
Okay. A car dealer CPA is a CPA or an accountant that specializes in the accounting and taxation for the car dealers. Same thing as there are activities such as retail, restaurants, and there is accounting for restaurants and accounting for retail. Same thing applies to car dealers. Is the accounting, and the consulting, the accounting, and the taxation for the car dealer specifically.
Understood. And our second question, how do accountants manage car dealers?
The, there are, for example, there are two types of car dealers, or there are car dealers that they finance their activities with the bank, and other car dealers that they finance their activities themselves, meaning that they do the collections for when the cars are sold on credit. And in any of the cases, there are, for example, there are transactions that involve the collection of interest and the administration of the debt. Whenever there is interest collected, there should be a separation between the principal of the debt and the interest, because when clients, say people who purchase a car, a new car or a used car, they pay in bulk. For them, it's irrelevant what is the portion of interest, what is the portion of principal. So if someone is charged, just to give you a number, $300 for a monthly payment of a car, that's the only number that the payer sees. But for the dealer, those $300 must be divided into the principal and the debt, meaning that one portion will be reducing the debt of that client, and another portion will be the profit, the interest of the dealer for the sale of that car. That's how the dealers create their revenues. They create their profit. The car dealers, they purchase a car for, let's say, 100. That's to give you a number, 100. And then they put it in their patios, or they put it in the dealer, and at the end, at one point, they sell it for, just to give you over 500. But they don't sell it, they don't get cash immediately. The 500, they are going to sell it in 2, 3, 4 years, the number of years that the client agrees. For those 500 price that they are selling, they're going to get interest. So there is an additional to the $500 that in this case, the client is going to pay. To make things easier, the $500 plus the interest is divided into monthly payments. And then the client, at the end of each month, is going to bring that monthly payment that includes part of the principal of the 500 payment and part of the interest, and that is going to be collected through the time of the payment of the sale of the car. This is the particular on an auto dealer or a car dealer that needs to deal, let's say, in a monthly basis, to separate the income that has received for interest and the principal of the debt that is not income for the dealer.
Got it. And third question, what is car dealer's bookkeeping?
Oh, the car dealer bookkeeping is basically the organization of a transaction from the bank statements and this transaction that I was explaining before, the separation between the principal and the interest for the classification of the revenues of the car dealer. Because when the bookkeeper could be internal or an external accountant, when the bookkeeper gets or receives the bank statements, or when the owner of the business gets the bank statements, The only amount that the owner sees on the statement in the deposit is the deposit amount. There is no separation between the loan that the owner has given and the interest. That is the work of bookkeepers. That is the task, the job of doing bookkeeping. Separation of the transactions and then correctly classification of those transactions for the creation of the income and the expenses.
Understood. And our last question. What are the benefits of a CPA specializing in car dealers?
Well, the main benefit is the ability to provide good advice and help the car dealer to stay on with the report on time. For example, one of the things that we've seen with car dealers is that even though they pay tax, they have employees and they pay payroll, sometimes they don't pay the taxes in a monthly basis. And this is where problems really start. So it's not only that the CPA will help you with the bookkeeping and with the accounting, organizing correctly the transactions to produce the financial statements and then report to the IRS. There's also the need for the control, because the owner is always involved in selling, producing more business. But then this is where the CPA needs to be close with the owner, work closely with the owner, with the objective of prevent this from happening. As the business needs, the car dealer needs many employees, many sellers, and those salesmen, they receive salary and commissions. It is in the payment of the payroll that sometimes car dealers, because they need money to pay expenses, they do not pay taxes in a monthly basis to the IRS. I mean, sales payroll taxes, Social Security and Medicare. And this is where the accountant needs to check with the owner what if these expenses, if these payroll tax expenses are paid in a monthly basis to avoid the accumulation at the end of the year. Because when taxes are not paid at the end of the year, the IRS is going to come after the dealer and it's going to assess a lien over the properties of the business, and then another lien over the property of the owner of the business. So this is why having a CPA will help the car dealer owner to stay away from this problem that at the end is going to create a debt problem with the IRS that is going to be even worse than not having a CPA.
Understood. So that was our last question for today. Thank you, Fulton, for your time and your information. If you have any more questions, you can send them to our email or social networks. We do have an exclusive group on Facebook. We'll put the link down below, and we'll see you on the next video.
Thank you.